Were planned through most of the council in the committee system in late 2021. I think through all the committees being represented equally, we came up with some really good ideas. Those ideas included the subdivision improvement program, which you will be referenced around here as the SIP. We recognized a need to apply for grants for the city. That initiated a lot of grant writing to include submitting for about $14 million in grants. About the commercial trash service that was created this year in the City of Waynesville. I watched the utility clerk and the utility department spend an immense amount of time and an incredible amount of work dedicated to ensuring that this went off without a hitch. Continued with a GIS system of the city. The GIS was, I will say, is currently ahead of schedule and was kind of a dream of the city to be able to generate electronic mapping of our utilities, of our roads, property boundaries, subdivisions, and how to track these systems.
Towards the end of last year, John started the SIP program, which allowed us to bring in more infrastructure and more homes into the city of Waynesville. The start of this back a year ago, we have put in close to 2 miles of underground electric line, transformers. We put in meter-based pedestals. We've had 60 new services go in up there at the summit alone.
So we've put, as far as new water main that's went in on the new subdivision, we put about 5,000 to 6,000 feet of 8-inch water main in. Each lot that goes in has to have obviously a water connection and also a sewer lateral that's tied into the gravity main. So there's roughly 80 to 85 sewer laterals that's being tied into the city main and stubbed out into each property lot.
Very busy, very busy. We laid 5,250 feet of gas main, and we've currently put in 42 service lines to houses. In some places, the sewer line had to be dug 8 foot deep, where the gas line is only supposed to be about 3 foot. And so we had to build shelves with the gas line on the side. There was also force mains in the ditch with us, and they had to be on the other side. So in order to backfill and to put bedding and everything in, created lots of time to get everything in the right way.
Well, we have hauled right at 19,391 tons to this subdivision, between 1-inch clean, road rock base, sand for these guys, lots and lots of rock to get this done. Put out right out this year alone 21,000 miles on one dump truck. I mean, we have kept it hot.
So when I say over the past year, technically it's been probably about 3 to 4 months solid that we have had time to actually put in 2 miles of underground primary. And that's just the underground primary. That's not talking about probably a mile of underground secondary for road crossings and transformers and meter bases. And it's just a lot of work in a very short amount of time that we come together as a group to perform and get done. Cox and Company and Mark Rowden and Pinnacle Homes have been very pleased with the work that the City of Waynesville Public Works Department on a whole has done. I have been praised by them on numerous occasions. We have a good working relationship with both contractors up there. There's just been no problems or no issues whatsoever. It's just been a tremendous effort on all the public works guys to come together to be able to make this work and happen.
To say in a nutshell, we just do utilities. No, we have trash, which we just picked up, which is huge. Commercial trash. It was like 110 new accounts for utilities. Getting the account set up, getting everything synchronized with St. Robert to make sure we get all these picked up. It's not just a simple add an account. We had to go through and getting everybody set up as far as that, getting deposits. We send out agreements. We had our economic development coordinator, Doug Potts, go out and actually deliver to person to try to get these agreements out. And the pool charge, per ton charge, keep track of who has these when they're out, when they come in. That has all gone through the utility office now as well.
And everybody has to keep in mind the City of Waynesville, things that we have come up daily. Dig rights, water leaks, gas leaks, poorly fixing stuff around town, helping the water department, street department potholing.
We have numerous places around town that have been doing upgrades to electrical service. We've also been doing aggressive tree trimming, vegetation maintenance. And actually in 2022, we received the American Public Power Association gave us an award for reliability in electric. There was only 5 in the state of Missouri that received this, and the City of Waynesville was one of those. We have continued our pole replacement program this year. We are upgrading our system. We have several lines that we have rebuilt this year. We've upgraded the wire, we're upgrading the poles. So it's just been a constant maintenance and construction year, and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down any going into 2023.
In Missouri for most of my life. I have been in economic development here in the state of Missouri for about 17 years. I have worked at every level of government in economic development. I've worked for the state, I've worked for counties, and I've worked for communities of all sizes. My background is in economics and international business. I am a certified economic developer. I'm also a business retention and expansion coordinator, and I will be probably getting starting here at Waynesville next year. I will be getting my PCED, Professional Community Economic Developer. So the thing that an economic developer at my level does is to widen the tax base, to retain businesses that we already have, and to make use of the local area's best advantages. So one of the things that I saw, obviously one of the reasons why I was brought on is to bring in some new businesses, which by the way we have several over the course of the year, as well as I'm sure you've heard of several other positive developments that are taking place, projects that have been stagnant for a very, very long time that finally seem to be moving forward in good and positive ways. One of the other things that I noticed very much was necessary when I got here to Waynesville is a business retention program. A retention program is a very vital component. As a business retention and expansion coordinator, it's a very vital component to an overall economic development plan. I also actually created Waynesville's economic development plan. That was one of the first things I did when I got here. That's a critical component. It serves as a guide to how the city is going to function and move forward. And it's a living document. It's something that you basically take and look at every year, and you reevaluate your needs and then move forward from there. So everything that I just said, very, very similar. A lot more business attraction. I'm going to be hitting that very, very hard in 2023. Also, a lot more business retention. There are a few ideas I have in mind to expand and broaden that program to make it more attractive. There's also going to be some enhancement programs I think we're going to be working on for small business, helping small business people, entrepreneurs get started. Entrepreneurship is so critical, especially for a community of this size. There are folks out there that they don't necessarily have a whole hell of a lot of resources just starting out. And that if you give them a little bit of assistance on that front, and not only do they start a new business in your community, but they build a certain loyalty to you as well. That's really, that carries on for years, if not decades.
The Parks Department has done a lot of work in the Parks sphere. We've done a lot of extra cleanup to open up the Riverview Bank so people can see as they're doing the walking trail. We've added electricity in our park. We've added temporary electricity in our lower park. We've had a huge amount of festivals this year in the park. The city and the Parks Department has done a tremendous amount of work to get all this ready. Hogs and Frog was an amazing first event that we've had this year, and hopefully it continues going. The Patriots Day Festival, that was one of the major events that I enjoyed. It turned out to be way bigger than what I planned it to be. We had a major project this year in Laughlin. We cleaned up, this is Richard Frank, who's my right-hand man. He did 90% of the work down there. Hopefully our guys get to see some pictures of him working. If y'all haven't had a chance to go down there and look at it, I would really love y'all to do it.
Last year, maybe mid last year, I received an email from the National Fitness Campaign, and they were wanting to see if we would be interested in placing a fitness court here. There was a grant process that you had to go through. You would receive $25,000 as a grant award, and we were interested in it, so Amber and I took it to John, and around December we accepted the grant award.
They really strongly suggested having their team come out and do it, but it was such an extreme cost, and we have a great construction department, and John Qualley and Donnie Beal, they were really kind of the leaders in this and took this on and got it started. They took our vision, and it was really a huge effort from all of the departments in the city. We had guys from the gas department, guys from the street department, several guys from the water department. They did a good job, and it was really exciting. And they did something. We saved the city $40,000 by doing it ourselves, which is pretty awesome.
So trying to find a balance to keep everything going can be challenging, but I think we're all doing good at it.
And because of all the departments working so well together, like Joe and Jacob, Quality, everybody has jumped in. They've helped me patch streets. I've helped them lay lines, whatever we need.
Props to the guys that helped me out. They've helped me on the hill. They've helped me down there. And just throughout the city, I can't thank every department enough on the help that they gave the water and sewer department. So.
The City of Waynesville has come together as a group. We have we've joined together bonds that we didn't have before, and we work very well together.
But yeah, really good groups of guys to work around. Reese, Triple K. Some of these guys have been doing it for 30 or 40 years. So myself, I've learned stuff from them. So having them around and on a job site has benefited me tremendously with putting new infrastructure in a subdivision.
I've learned quite a bit. I have a great teacher, but it's kind of worked in my benefit, being able to get my hands on more and doing more things, understanding how infrastructure is actually put in. You know, not only do we have to deal with gas, but we got to put in consideration other utilities, how deep they are, how deep we go, where we go, things like that. So it's worked out in my favor. Yeah, sure. Working with these guys for the 2 years that I've been here, it's a great environment. You know, most places you wake up and you're like, oh man, I don't want to go to work. You know, but when you get here, everybody kind of sets the mood for you, and you know, it makes the day go by faster. The word team, I like to say team means together everyone achieves more. So you know, I think we are a definition of that, because definitely we have achieved a lot this year.
Let's discuss the future. I can tell you that there are a lot of good things in planning right now for the city. We have worked very hard to put ourselves in the position to continue to expand in the commercial advertising and trying to make sure our city gets recognized, whether it be for the outdoor aspect with the Ruby Doo and the trout stream and the fishing, or the commercial aspect with Fort Leonard Wood and the traffic counts, and making sure that our SIP customers have feasible shopping opportunities and things like that. I think in closing, from the city administrator's office, my closing thoughts and comments would be, when you're working with the city, consider the amount of work that the staff is doing. When you're working with the city, consider the amount of time that your councilman is donating. These guys are not paid. I will say that we have a very good team, a very good group of staff and elected officials, and take the time and the courtesy to just say thank you. I know they would appreciate it, and they work very, very hard to make sure that whatever project they are working on makes the city and the community a better place to live.